then executing. But in the Python programming is interpreter means it's line by step, that is line by line code is execution on flow. Means in the command line, if you view a plus b is equal to c, if you define that one, instantly it will be it's executing from there only directly. So there is difference. It's not compile. It compile at the time of execution. So it called interpreter language. In usually in C, right, you will be doing some compilation. You will write a, int b, then a c equal to a plus b. C is also defined by int, so you will be giving some variable and then passing it and then calculating. But you will be compiling and then executing. Here you will be executing directly. So that is what is called interpreted. It is interactive. So you'll be uh, while executing itself, you'll be giving some variable, you'll be passing some variable name directly into the interpreter value. It's object oriented, high level programming language, and this Python source code, whatever you're talking about Python, it is just now before only just now I told like it is an open source, and the source code is available under JNU, General Public Licensing, because this open source project is maintained by some group of companies. They're called JNU, General Public Licensing. Where for everything will be needed licensing. For that they will maintain, for open source they have maintained it. The feature of Python. Okay, features. What are the feature it included? See, it is very simple and easy to learn. Why? It is interpreted and interactive, and it's object oriented. Whatever in Python you defining, it is an object oriented. It is an object, and it is portable. Portable means you can work in Windows, you can work in Linux machine, you can work in any platform, which is it supports all the platform. It not necessarily only works. There are developed your application once you always try to write application code which can run in all the platform, Windows, Linux, Red Hat, and all those like this. There are different platforms, so you'll always concentrate more on working on all the different like that. Of Python. This is very simple and easy to learn, interpreted, interactive, object oriented, and it is portable. Scalable means you can use for any number of system. Okay, it is can scalable to everyone. Scalable means numbering. Extensible, you can use this particular Python with any other tools like Eclipse. Eclipse means Java, right? Eclipse is the one tool which is where you will be developing your Java code, developing Java application and all. For that, this Python is also you can port into that one. It's portable to porting, and then you'll be using with that also. And it's very dynamic. It is in dynamic nature because it is interpreted and it is dynamic because it is when line by line execution, it will give you some information on the stepwise. So usually in C, first all code will be compiled and then execute. It will give the result after that. But here, line by line, it will give the result. GUI programming and database. It support database as well, and some GUI programming using some standard other libraries. One is TK, some other also you get. There are defined standard libraries. There are very huge number of functions. It is predefined, so we'll be directly using those predefined. How the installation, like how will be first will be running. So usually in the Linux and Mac OS, Python comes pre-installed, but in only in Windows we'll be having, you need to install it separately. In Python by default it will come. There are two latest version. One is 2.07. Maximum people use this one only. 3.2 is also is available right now. 3.3, 3.7 is available, but people use 2.7 because that is very stable one and used one. 30 Python version 3 is non-backward compatible, means it won't work with 2.7. 3.3, it will completely work differently. So you can download the Python from http python.org download, whichever version you want, whether it be, there will have some information called like Windows machine you required or the Linux machine. And Python comes with large library, as I mentioned earlier, because it's predefined. There are so many predefined libraries, predefined functions. It can be used anywhere. So it's in the data types. You have something different data types. It's already predefined. Methods are available. You can utilize those things and to compose one Python application, whichever you want, whether you do it in GUI or for testing or some framework tool itself. See, usually people write tool in C++ and all, right? So Python using, we can write some framework development. Framework development, nothing but the one tool itself. The tool which is used for whether developing application or testing application. So typically Python implement of offer both interpreter and compiler, both the modes it will offer. Interactive interface to Python, real. See, in Linux, if you type directly Python, it will give you the information which one. So I'll show you, but before that, okay, till now, whatever I talked is the history of Python and how the Python is evolved from earlier version to newer version. What are it's as and when there is some including the functions. There are something new functions are added, and with releasing they have given the version numbers. The most prolific and the most what you call famous is the most stable version is 2.7. People maximum most of the time they use 2.7 only. And there are different type of Python IDs, interface development environment. It means it gives an environment to write the code, like Notepad plus, you will be having, right, Notepad plus plus. You can write simple text message and then save it .py and then execute. I'll show you how it is how it will be done, but just for remember, there is something called IDEs as to give you a environment to write your application code, write your codes. Idle, there is one is idle that predefined. It comes with Python whichever version if you install, by that it will come with the integrated development environment. Okay, with Eclipse is Java based, right? But it gives you Python development environment as there is a plugin called pdive. Okay, with the pdive, the Python plugins, you can use Eclipse to develop your Python code. There are few things other as well. There are so many famous spider. If you search in Google Python IDs, you'll get list of, there are n number of Python IDs, but people use my Eclipse, Idle, and there is something called Spider, Sublime Text. These are the different IDs used. I will sorry. I'll show you. I already have installed this one. I will show you in the practical. Like now, we'll go for that one installation and simple writing. How what are it required? Okay, to set up the things in the Linux machine as well as in the Windows machine. So usually when there is simple steps is given for Eclipse plus pdive, means when you have Eclipse environment in your system is installed, you need to go for help in the software, in the settings software. There will be having plugins. You need to give the plugin name Python plugin pyd, so it automatically include in the Eclipse. I have installed 2.7 and 3.3 on my machine. I will show you now. So till now, whatever we talked about, this is about the history and who is developed and what are the functions it gives you, how the beneficial, what is the what do you call This is comparing with the other language, how feasible and all those things. Okay. Now let me come back to one more time to practicals and the execution, how the installation is done, and you will download it from. I'll show you the path. Download whichever version you want, whichever machine you want. Usually for Linux, usually for Linux, it comes default. For Windows, you need to install it. It will come. So now we'll go through it because already I have installed it. In my screen, I have installed Python 2.7 as well as 3.3. So when you install it, .ims, I'll show you like from where you have to download. But right now I have installed, so I'm not going to install one more time because it gives me error. It's required some system administration. I'm using TCS IT laptop, so I'm unable to do that. So I'll just show you how to do that. So if you go here in the Google, if you write down Python download 2.7, you'll give the python.org. Here you see what are the available versions. In the available versions, you select any one, whichever you want, 2.7, 2.3.0 and all. Here we'll be having Linux for Linux machine. These are the IDs. This is using the Git, okay? There is something called using that you'll be downloading. Download anyone from the download. Here it is download for Windows. You'll be having these things. By default for Ubuntu machine, it will be installed. So I have installed both the things. So when you install it, will be .msi file. When you extract it and install it, it will be available in C drive, the local C drive path. Here it is. This is the Python. So in this, if you execute, this is the ID. Okay. When this, if I run this, it will give me something. Okay. Right now, which is the version. See here, 2.7.3. So this is by default version. If I type, sorry, this is for 2.7 and this is for 3.3. When you install it, when you extract and when you install, it will come in this. Now what I have to do is this one I need to, Sophie, from anywhere, if you want to access this Python code from anywhere, you need to define this one in your environment variable. So where you'll be having your environment variable, you need to set that one. Here's something called, not this one, sorry. There is system advanced. The system only you need to set that path, so that that path, if you set that path, usually in the what in the Linux, it will be export path, right? Some will be exporting the path of installation so that from anywhere it can be accessed. So window also we need to do the some setting in the setting purpose. Set from the setting you have to do it. So here in the environment path, this is the path, right? This is the path. So in this, you need to edit it. Here because I'm unable to do because it is IT already did. I don't have authority to do it. But here in this, you need go last. Here the setting we have to do. Okay. Go last to the point and then copy this whatever we have selected 2.7 and then these two path need to be pasted over in this edit. Once you're done, from anywhere from the any location, we can access it. Okay, I hope you got it. So now we'll see something. Okay, command prompt. Usually this is if I mention here, it won't recognize because I haven't set that path. For this one, I need to set in the environment variable. So whatever the path, if I set it, it will come over here, right? So I haven't set. So because of that, I'm getting some error. I need to, if I want to run, I need to go to this location. Now I am in the location. Sorry. LS is, I used to be in complete, most of the time I use Linux machine that is Ubuntu. That is why I'm using those commands. I'm unable to find this. Okay. Anyhow, um, here if I give this one Python, see Python executed comes means you are already in that location and this is the execute exe file. I have to run it. So if I run it, I'll go to the path which I have set. Mean the path where the execution file is there. So now this is the command prompt comes. Here it gives something called Python 2.7.3. This is the default version, means whatever the version I have installed on the Linux machine. So it is on Windows machine. So it gives you first line. Sorry, first line it will give you Python 2.7 which version you are using. Now if I press something object, see it is not defined anything, so you will be having something traceback object because object is not defined. So if I mention something called a equal to 1, a is already defined. So if I press a equal to, it is 1. So it is interpreter, means it you will be executing command line directly. So if I mention here b is equal to 2, now b is equal to 2, okay, c equal to a plus b. Now if I see, this is interpreter and command line execution, step by step execution, because I haven't defined anything. See the difference is here I haven't defined this, just text level oriented one. So b is equal to 2. I have taken one variable, I have assigned one value. What will happen for this variable b? I have created one object that is with the value name. So it works something. um, I will show in the some other slides where I will be going for that. I will showing you how the object is created and how the assignment is happening. See here everything is from the right to left. The right is value, the 2 is value and it is assigned to B. So 2 is assigned to B. If I say C equal to 2, now B equal to 2 is and C equal to 2. So B and C is pointing to the value where the object is created for 2. So in C, in usually in C language, how it will happen? When you defined it, it defining the one memory location, B separately and C separately. Then you will be assigning the value. But here it is not like that. It's for the value, it's created one object. So all variables are pointing to that object. will be using for your PC and Windows or Linux. By Linux, by default, you will get it. Just press in the command line Python. So it will give you which version of Python is. Otherwise, you mention Python version, so that it will give you the version, which version, where Python. So these are the commands which will be give you Python location as well as which version of Python is installed. But in Windows, it is something different. So you download .imsi file, extract it, and install it. After the installation, go to the C drive where you will be having your folder with the name of software, Python software, whichever you install, whether be it in Python 2.7 or 3.3. So 2.7 is 27. So copy this location, copy the path, copy the path and mention it in the system variables. So where will be your path of Python installation, so that from anywhere you can access it. But in my machine, I need to go to the location of the Python where it is installed. From there, I have to execute that python.exe, because I haven't given this path in that, because I have some issue. This is IT. Okay, I need IT access. I need permission for the system administration. So I don't have that. Because of that, I haven't done that part. So you people can do it manually once after this session. Hope till now, hope you people are clear very much on this. This is the command line, how the it will comes. Now some, if you want to know, so this is just I'm giving a brief idea about. Okay, from next class we'll go step by step whatever we have mentioned in the syllabus. This is overall how the installation, how it will look like, what is this one, how it will be done. So just I'm showing you people like how it will be executed. This is the command line. I'll show you using ID as well, that whatever the idea you're talking, right? Some idle is one ID, Eclipse is one ID. I don't have Eclipse, but I have something called Spider ID. From the Spider ID, how I will be writing the code and how execution is happening. So simply, if you want something to know about the A I have defined it. The type of A means it gives you data types. So here see that type of A is int. This is integer. A is integer because I have defined as in 1. So if you want to know the type, it will give you. So here if I give you directory of int, so it gives something predefined versions. Okay. See, you want to know anything data types means which these are the methods which supported by integer, means these are the operations we can do it on integers. See here, what are the operation we can do? See, whatever the comes with underscore underscore, these are internal predefined sorry, with respect to Python 2.7. Other than what are the things are available here? Sorry. See, what are the things I can do is conjugate, demonitor. What is the demonitor of the application? New. So wherever real image, real integer of the that real part of the integer. So these are the operation we can do it. So like this, we can get information. Even help with the topic. You need for help. You need to write help. If you want integer help, if you mention it here, see here, it will gives you complete help topic. It has very good definition. You go through it, so it will give all the information. And so this is the help topic, means the help is required for you. Sorry. So it gives you overall help. Okay. This is the one. Help is done, installation is done. How will be executing command now using the ID. Okay, fine. So new just now I'm exiting. So I got executed from the interpreter. Means whatever till now I have interpreted it, I have executed one. Now I am in the location. If I want to now use some application, now what I will do is I'll simply create one file. I'll simply create one file with the some name. So how will be scripts from the command line, execution of the script from the command line. Now here in this location, I'll create one document, one text document first. .py. We need to save the file whichever you want to run it. .py. You need to install. You want to write one Python file. I'm using something called spider. Search spider. It's somewhere I have written. Wait for a minute. I'll check it and I'll come back to you guys. I will log in from some other this one, so I'm not able to find out. Give me 2 minutes. I'll just find from the command line. Okay, there is by default, if you install Python 2.7 or 3.3, you'll be getting some UI page. Okay, how it will be done, I'll show you. So here something, whenever you installed it, it will be there idle. Idle is the one IDE which is used for Python GUI. It will also give you at the GUI level. Now till now whatever we have done is we have command line, we typed it. So now we entered into the command line, right? Interpreter. Same thing. We have one UI ID, GUI, graphical user interface, where you again will be doing the same thing. Okay. So here, if you now A is 0. So this is one type of there is UI. So what we'll be doing most of the time, what we'll be doing, writing one file. It means we'll be writing some line of codes and storing in file. So this is the file. I want to write it. Okay. First, what I will do is just nothing I will do. I will only print one message. This is the print. Same like our C. Okay. How we will be giving the C. Okay. This is my first Python program. See, I have given it here print. Print is small letter and then same. Okay, and then close, open braces and close braces, and then internally you will be having quotes and then your program. Now what I will do is I will save this one. Save as. You need to save it first program. Okay. You need to save it in py because you want to run it in py. So I am saving it in first program dot save. Now this is I have written code of line and saved it in .py file. So where I have saved, I need to save it in C and the folder, whichever version of folder it is created. Usually this is required because I haven't enable editing. I have not done the system variable path. Okay, I haven't set the variable path. Because of that, I have to save this program. Whatever the program I am writing single by single files, I need to write those in Python 27 folder only. If I have mentioned, if I have set it the variable path, then there is no then there is no need of saving this particular whatever your Python file in particular folder. You can store it anywhere, from anywhere you can run it. Because I haven't done that, because of that I need to save it in Python folder itself. Okay, this is my one more thing here is, you see here, file, new, open means whenever you will be using another one path. Okay, now here there is something called run. From the run, you can run this program from here itself, or I'll show you from command line as well. Okay, I will run it from here. Go to run module. There is shortcut for F5. If I run it, see, it gives you, this is my first whatever I have written. What I have written is, this is my first Python program. So same print I have printed over here. So this is first level of execution. One is line by line execution, something, hello my dear friends in JNT. So I have printing. See, this is line by line printing from the command line itself, from the interpreter. One more is, I have written one file, I have written one line of code, I have saved it .python, and then I have executed from here. There is one more thing, we can execute it from now. Here I have saved my files over in this, right? See here, my first program, I want to run it. I have saved it here. What I have to do is, how I have to run? I have to run with the python.exe. Now the script file. What is the script? First program.py. See, when I run it, this is my first Python program. Whatever I have written over here, I'm getting same thing. This, whatever I have written here, I'm getting the same thing. And remember, here the indentation is very important. Indentation means like how we'll be defining. Now I'll show in the next class like how it will be done actually. So indentation is very important. If indentation is not there, you will get some syntax errors. So I guess, I hope this is clear from you. Executing from command line directly, or using some graphical interface IDE where you'll be writing some code and then saving it and executing it from here. Okay. On your IDE Python program. Now there are two types of command. I'll go basic because we need to complete before coming to the actual thing where data types, how the variables and all those things. There are two types of command. This is the command. Okay, command. This is my command. When you run this code is won't execute because this is just for the reference. Because I want, see, whenever you're writing a code, this, see, application means there is 10,000 lines. For to get the 10,000 of code, you have written it. But to understand somebody else, you need something called commands. Means you'll be giving a reference document. Means for him to understand it very easy. This is addition program. Okay, this is command line. Now, this is my first program. A equal to 10, C equal to 10 plus 20. Print C. So what I am doing is, I am just adding two numbers. Okay, this is the addition program. How it will work, we'll see. So now what it is it? See here, this whatever I have written is it is not executed. Means this is command. The one type of command is hash. So this is my first Python program and C is equal to 10 plus 20. So it is given as result directly. Okay. And there is second type of command is 1, 2, 3. This is multi-line we can write. Hello. This is my commands in the line. Okay. Multi-line commands. So it will be like again we'll be starting command only. So like this we can do multi-line commands. Two types of command. One is 3 hashes, one other is 1 hash. So these are the commands. Comment means it give before writing any program you'll be writing right. This is my addition program, blah 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 blah. Hello, this is one like that. So these are the two type of commands. Now coming back to indentation. See, this is starting from the zero position. If you write if condition something, if I'm writing a some if condition, this indentation, see here the code automatically start, it need to start from, if you do this, if I give some if condition, then I do something operation, then it will do, it will run it, otherwise it won't run, because the indentation part is very, it gives an error, missing indentation. Will going for we'll come to know about this one, because this is very very important one. Indentation, without indentation this won't work. So it will most of the time what will be people what they will do is indentation, they miss the indentation. Means whether you give one tab or you give two space, but it should be perfect, it should be like one tab, no, I'm giving two space. So like this you should be remembering yourself how much of space you have given, but one tab is required, means one tab means four space, the four space is required for indentation. This is about the indentation. Most of the programming languages like C uses the braces, right? In C++, how will be starting? They will be starting something called if, and this is right. So now we'll be starting writing codes, but here in Python, indentation is used. So this indentation is used. Code block always start with the indentation and ends with first and unindented line, means it need to end with the same line where it started. So while going in the next classes, we'll come to know how exactly the indentation is very important and how it will be done. Hope this is clear. Now left within this history, because in the next class we'll go with the result keyword, variables, data types, and how it will be identified. One more is identifier, because usually we need to identify something, right? Identify means naming convention. Convention can start with C, means anything. It can be A to Z, 0 to 9, or underscore. A to Z, A to Z, 0 to 9, and underscore. It can start with underscore, okay? It can start with underscore. This, whatever I will be writing, right? Something called string 1. So this is also positive. This is also okay. This is also okay. The name should start with A, okay? Alphabets. It should not start with number. This is not okay. It will give you error. A to Z, AZ, 0 to means it can include these two. It can include underscore. It can start. This is fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. This is fine. Even this is also fine. But going forward while writing some programs, we come to know actually how the Identifier is very important because it gives you unidentified value. Means if you do some wrong, it will say, okay, this is not defined. Please check like this error. Sorry. Coming is multi-line commands. Multi-line, multi-line commands. Multi-line commands I will be writing is, say, suppose so this is identifier, means I am identifying one thing. I'll be writing first item plus backslash is important for the next level. Multi-line statements. Sorry, means this is also can be run. Okay, now if I go here, if I mention second item, again same thing, means this is as good as this one. C is equal to 10 plus, means first item is 10 and second item is 20, and then it is equal to like this. This is the multi-line statements. So here one is important, indentation. You need to give other space, you should be remembering, but people used to follow is tabs. One space, one tab space is required. So wherever you're starting your program, you should be start with the indentation and end with indentation line, means whatever the first if, right, I need to close somewhere here saying okay, it is done. So like that, multi-line statements, commands, different type of commands. So these are the today's topic. So we'll from next topic, from the next session, we'll go through actual like programming or data types, variables, what are the data types we have, what are the variables I will be starting, and some input, output, and import functions. There are two types possibility, right? Inputting from the command line itself. From user, you can take the inputs, or you can define the input inside your program. So here I'll pause it for today. We'll take a